Yo, what is up, everyone? What is up? Today, I just want to shoot this quick video for you to talk about how PTCAS might be draining you of a lot of money. How your mistakes and you not knowing your stuff, how you not knowing what to do properly might be costing you a lot of money. Now, for the people who are applying this cycle, might already know this. So this video is more geared to the people applying next cycle or the cycle after that, or you're just coming into the field and you're just learning about physical therapy and how all this application stuff works. This is more for you. This is more for you. If you're applying this cycle, feel free to chime in. It can help a lot of people who are coming after you. But today I want to talk about how your mistakes or your possibly avoided mistakes could be making PTCAS rich. What's going on, Caleb? How you doing? Thanks for joining me. For those of you new to the group and new to Pre-PT Grind, my name is Casey Coleman, one of the co-founders of Pre-PT Grind. And we come in this group to give you value and to save you a lot of time and money and to save you from a lot of heartache and mistakes that could have avoided, that we could have avoided when we were applying to PT school. So let's get into it. How PTCAS and really even the APTA a little bit, because they're kind of joined, can be draining you from a lot of money from the mistakes you are making. What's up, Robin? Thanks for joining me. What's up, guys? Who else we got here? Oops, sorry. All right, what's up, guys? What's up? So let's back up a little bit and talk about what PTCAS is for the people who are unfamiliar with it. It might be applying next year. So PTCAS stands for Physical Therapy Centralized Application Service. Physical Therapy Application Service. And it's basically this big melting pot of where you put all your stuff. You just throw it all in there and you send it off to this place, this Wizard of Oz place where all the PT schools can really sift through it and really take out what they want. So that's really what PTCAS is. It's a physical therapy centralized application service where you throw everything in there, throw in your observation hours, your transcripts, your this, your that, your GRE scores. Then the schools sift through it, and there's a whole system behind it where they can see this and that, and they take out what they want. So that's what PTCAS is. And what you have to do, you have to apply through that system in order to apply to the majority of PT schools. Now, however, you have to pay money to send your transcripts and all this stuff, your application in the system. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Rajab? Just correct me if I'm wrong. Send us a voice message at Contact Pre-PT Grind if I'm pronouncing that wrong. But what's up? Thanks for joining me. But PTCAS, you have to pay money to send your application and information to that system for them to process it and send it to all their schools and pay for all their stuff. So if you don't know what you're doing, I'm just going to break down the numbers just a little bit here. If you don't know what you're doing and you're applying next cycle or the cycle after this, this is how it works. You pay about $150 to send the first application to whatever school you want. Say if you only want to apply to one school, you send your application out and it costs $150. That's just to one school. Then every school after that, it costs an additional $55. So for example, if you don't know what you're doing, and sometimes we get a lot of these students like, oh, I'm just going to apply to 15 schools because, hey, one of them might accept me. You can already start doing the math, right? You can already start doing the math. So I did a little math for you guys. Let's look at this a little bit. One school, $150, right? What's up, Sean? Thanks for joining me. 5 schools, it'll cost you about $370. If you apply to 10 schools, that's $645. That's just the 10 schools. You're like, okay, I won't do that much. About 10 schools, that should be good, right? I should be good to apply wherever I want. One of them might pick me up. If you don't know what you're doing, that's $645 down the drain if you do not get accepted. That they're just pocketing. PTCAS, the APTA is like, oh, thanks for the $645. If you apply to 5 schools, thanks for the $370. Hey, Sean didn't know what he was doing. Rajab didn't know what he was doing. Who else we got on here? Caleb, whatever the situation is, whatever that student is, didn't know what they were doing. Easy. A nice little $700 in our pocket. Now times that by how many students apply each year. Let's just take this group. There's 3,400 people in this group. If everybody applied to 5 schools, that's $370 times 3,400. That's crazy. If you don't know what you're doing, you're making PTCAS rich. making PTCAS rich without getting anything in return. Without getting any. Sean, you're just doing some research on it. Exactly. Exactly. You're getting nothing. If you don't know what you're doing, all these foolish little mistakes that could have been avoided, some research on the front end, you may be taking another year off, you may be taking a few more classes, you may be listening to our podcast or getting into one of our programs, could have been avoided. You could have saved $645 if you applied to 15 schools. Let's check that out. $920 if you apply to 20 schools and you really don't know what you're doing, and you're just like, man, let's chalk it up. One of them will take me. I applied to 20 schools. I got a good chance. My GPA is all right. I mean, that's around a 3.0, 3.2. Somebody will take me, right? If you apply to 20 schools, that's $1,195 that you're just giving. Just giving to PTCAS. Like, here, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm applying just to maybe get in. Here's almost $1,200. Boom. Done. Times that by 3,000 plus people in this group. Let's just say everybody is applying this year. They are making bank because you don't know what you're doing. So for those of you listening, what could you do with, let's just start at the bottom. What could you do with $370? Let me know. Let me know. It could be on replay, it can be on live. What can you do? What's up, Jose? What's up? Who else we got in here? What's up, James? What's going on, y'all? Thanks for joining me. What could you guys do with $370? What could you do with $650? What could you do with almost $1,200? Whether it's for business, whether it's for personal, whether it's for your future profession and getting you ready for PT school, what could you do with that money that you are just handing over because you don't know what you're doing? You're like, oh, I found physical therapy on Forbes.com or on Google. It's one of the best professions out there. It has job stability. All I got to do is get in. But I don't really know what I'm doing. I listen to Pre-PT Grinds podcast here and there. You know, I hop in their Facebook group a little bit just in case I got a question or somebody's talking about something interesting. But I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm applying next year and I'm seeing everything that everybody has to go through this year. And I kind of know what's going on. Yeah, you got to write this essay, right? Yeah, you got to do this, right? But you don't really understand. You might be potentially throwing away $1,200, $700 next year from what could have been avoided this year. What could have been avoided right now? And a lot of people don't really think about the math like that. They don't want to, maybe they don't want to think about it. Maybe it's too hard to think about, or they don't want to think about what's going to happen in the future and they don't want to put in the work right now. But what you're doing right now could be saving you tons. And I didn't even factor in GRE and retaking classes and the potential salary you're missing out on when you get into PT school a year earlier, or the potential salary you're missing out on if you miss a cycle and get rejected. I didn't even factor that in. I just factored in the cost to send your application. Didn't even talk about supplemental applications. Didn't even talk about that. I'm strictly talking about PTCAS and how you're making them bank from you not knowing what you're doing. From you not knowing what you're doing. So some things that can be avoided. If you're applying next year and the cycles after that, if you're a freshman in undergrad and you're just finding this out, welcome to our page and everything. And if you're applying this year and you know somebody applying next year or the cycles after that, tag them in this video because it can save them a lot of time. It can save them so much money. It can save them so much anguish, so much stress if they just started now. If they just started now. What's up, Brock? How's it going? So what could you guys be doing with that money? I bet a lot. I bet a lot. So if you don't want to go through this, you need to do a few things. What's up, Sanam? What's going on? Thanks for joining us. You got to do a few things. Either you can find this out by yourself. You can take however much time you need. There's stuff out there. Watch a YouTube video there. Read a blog here. Listen to a podcast there. You could piece it all together by yourself. That's going to take a lot of time. That's going to take a lot of effort. What's going on, Katie? That's going to take a lot. Or you can find someone who's been there before, who's laid it all out for you, like us. Listen to our podcast, read through this group, get in our Kickstart program. What's going on, Joey? There's so many things you can put yourself in right now. There's so many places that you can look right now. There's so many people willing to help you right now so you don't have to go through this. So you don't have to make PTCAS rich. I don't think you guys have really thought. Some of you might have. Some of you might have thought about this before. that you're just making them so much money from what could have been avoided or what can be avoided if you're applying in the future. So you got to figure it out now. You have to figure it out now. It's in your best interest. It's in your wallet's best interest right now. It's in your wallet's best interest right now and your time's best interest. A lot of you, we get messages all the time. You guys took a survey about a week ago saying, I don't want to waste any more time. I got a family. I'm 30 something years old. I'm 26 years old. I feel like my life is just passing me by. Every year I don't get in. All the mistakes I've made, I'm shelling out this money. I'm shelling out this time because the cycle only comes around once a year. You got to figure it out. You got to start now if you're applying next year. Don't wait. Don't say, oh, March is going to come up. I can start then. Because it's going to come before you know it. It's going to come before you know it. So you can do one of two things. You can figure it out yourself. You can piece it together. You can find a blog here. You can find a YouTube video there. You can kind of slack off and do something one week and do another thing next month. And so on and so forth. What's going on, Tyler? Exactly, Robin. Exactly. Tell them. Let them know. Or you can go through somebody who's already done it, who's helped hundreds of people already. We have it. Go to preptgrind.com, look through our stuff. If it buys with you, get it. Get in our Kickstart course. If it doesn't, whatever. Figure it out yourself. I'm already there. Robin's already there. Tyler's already there. We don't need it. This is for you. This can be saving you so much. You don't have to be making PTCAS rich. You can be making yourself rich. You can be making yourself rich. You can do so much with that $700. You can invest it in something. You can start a little online business. You can start this and that. You can go on vacation. You can do whatever. You can make your life so much more than making PTCAS rich if you just freaking knew what you were doing. And if you don't, contact us. Figure it out. We got stuff for you. Or figure it out somewhere else. I don't really care. I'm just here to help you. I'm here to help you so you don't have to go through what I went through and paid PTCAS 2 cycles in a row and just made them rich, just here, giving out money like that. So you got to figure it out. You have to. You have no other options. So that's really it. I don't want to waste too much of your guys' time. This is for the people applying next cycle or the cycle after that. If you're applying this cycle, you know what to do. You've been following us for a while. If not, go to our website, listen to our podcast, contact preptgrind.com. Our email address, preptgrind@gmail.com. Ask us whatever you need if you're applying this cycle, if you need some last minute tips or whatever. But this was for the people next cycle who don't really understand what's really going on with this whole application thing and PTCAS thing. You got to figure it out now. You have to. It's in your best interest. It's in your time's best interest. It's in your family's best interest. It's in the people putting pressure on you. It's their best interest. It's your life. It's in your best interest. What can you do with another year in the profession sooner? It's just little things that you have to think about. Just little things like that. What's up, Kiet? So that's really it. That's all I wanted to talk about today. And before I go, for the people who don't really understand how PTCAS really works, for the people who went through it already and know how frustrating it is, comment below, what was your most frustrating thing of having to deal with PTCAS? What was it? Was it, everything changing? Was them messing up your transcripts? Was it them not returning your calls? Was it, having to put in your classes after you sent them the transcripts? It being so tedious, it being so confusing, it being so hard to understand? Whatever it was, just understand you have to go through all of that and shell out all this money just for that. You have to understand you're paying PTCAS, so use them. You're shelling out this money, so use them. Make sure you understand it and just find somebody who does like us, and you'll be better off. So much better off. So that's it. Comment below. Comment team live or team replay if you're listening to this later on. But take care. See you guys soon. I'm out.